think we're good to start. Thank you all for joining us. My name is Rajal Mazroui, and I'm the EVP of DIFC Fintech Hive. And today we're hosting this special webinar with our most recent ecosystem partner, Malaysia, this digital economy. We're really excited about this partnership because it really widens the opportunity of cooperation and collaboration and bridge our two ecosystems for business opportunities, for mentors, for investments, and so forth. Before we start, I would like to take you a little bit through what the DIFC is. So the DIFC is the leading global financial center of Dubai, established back in 2004 with an independent legal and regulatory framework to enable financial institutions to set up offices and capture business opportunities in the region through the DIFC. We have more than 3,600 registered companies in the DIFC, and the workforce exceeds 30,000 individuals working for these companies in this district. We launched the DIFC Fintech Hive back in 2017, and the main purpose of the DIFC Fintech Hive is really to accelerate adoption of technology and to co-create technology solutions for financial services company with startups and tech companies. We have $100 million as a dedicated fintech fund that we use to invest in fintech startups. And we work with an independent regulator that is continuously working on developing specific regulations to enable innovation in financial services. What we do at the Fintech Hive, we offer multiple services, including different acceleration programs. We run our signature accelerator program that is focused on growth stage startups that join our program from all over the world and pitch their technology solutions for our partnering financial institutions. We've accelerated more than 180 fintech startups since we've started. We have engaged in more than 100 proof of concepts between those startups and the financial institutions, and there is close to 80 products launched in the UAE market as part of these collaborations. We run corporate innovation programs. We do hackathons, innovation sprints, and internal innovation programs for our partnering financial institutions. We have an ecosystem that we've put in place with more than 70 partners supporting this ecosystem and supporting the growth and development of those fintech startups to understand the legal regulatory framework, to understand the landscape of the whole region, and also to assist them capture those business opportunities. The DIFC captured the opportunity of fintech and offered co-working spaces for fintech startups. We provide them with subsidized licensing, regulation, and modern workspace to enable them to run their businesses from this location. We have more than 500 startups registered in the innovation hub of the DIFC. And we work with a fintech community that is focused on women empowerment, strong investor network, and community events to promote different technologies, different opportunities, and also to match fintechs with business opportunities. Our startups raised more than $530 million in funding to date, and we are connected with a global network of more than 13 hubs around the world. Our startups come from all over the world. As you can see, we have a lot of them from the UAE, from the Middle East, from the US, from Asia, from Africa, and from Europe. And our vision for this partnership is really to attract business and fintech and tech startups from Malaysia to match them with business opportunities in our region, and at the same time also enable the startups from the DIFC to capture the opportunities within the Malaysian markets through this partnership. This map really shows the bridges that we provide to the global fintech ecosystem. We are connected to Singapore, Egypt, Saudi, Istanbul, Hong Kong, Tel Aviv, France, Bahrain, Mumbai, Italy, Luxembourg, and proudly MDEC in Malaysia. Our partners focus on providing support in areas of funding, networking, workshops, and technology. And as you can see, we have partners from all of these sectors who are providing mainly pro bono services or packaged solutions for the startups to help them accelerate the launch of their solutions from the DIFC. With this, I come to the end of my presentation, and I would like to hand over to Roslina to talk about MDEC and this partnership. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Raja. Salam sejahtera and a warm welcome from Malaysia. It's 3 o'clock, or 3:12 to be exact. So good morning to the people in Dubai. We, on behalf of MDEC, we are extremely pleased to be part of today's webinar together with the DIFC. It's been a long time working together with the team in support at looking at opportunities. So ultimately, for Malaysia, it's to explore how we can support Malaysian companies and also encourage foreign startups, companies to also land and expand in Malaysia and leverage on the strength of two key components in terms of how we want to move that needle for economic growth. So I've got a short presentation that I would like to give as well. Do you want to, let me see quickly, let's just go to, can everybody see my screen? Yep, okay. So just a quick roundup to what I just mentioned. So MDEC has been around for the last 25 years. We are the lead government agencies in support of championing Malaysia's digital economy. We want to become the heart of digital ASEAN in support of inbound as well as outbound investments. Alhamdulillah, we've done quite well in support of growing our tech companies. So in total, we have close to about 3,000 tech companies within Malaysia that we hope to groom to become global champions. So we have had plenty of success stories. I'm sure you have had your own share of success stories. So we want to see how we can expand this collaboration in support of opportunities that we can collaborate together. So in total, we have more than 50 programs that we run, touching across quite similar to what the DIFC does as well, which looking at funding opportunities, market access, looking at business matching opportunities as well. And as you know, there is a huge potential with regards to digitalization. And because of the pandemic, everybody has had to pivot. So in my care, I am one of the guardians for Islamic digital economy. So this is a snapshot view of Malaysia's landscape currently. So as you know, Malaysia is #1 for Islamic finance as well as Islamic fintech. So these are in, so you're looking into in total, currently as at end 2021, total finance assets at 3.6 trillion. That is potentially can grow to 22 to 4.9 trillion. That is, for Malaysian ringgit is 22 trillion. So you can see from here, of the total finance asset that Malaysia has, that represents a 24% hefty market share for Malaysia alone. In the halal sector, the key main components that we are currently looking at is, as you know, last year, total halal food was close to about 1.27 trillion, and that's expected to grow to $1.7 trillion. And for Malaysia's milestones, we're looking to expand this to 8.1% of our GDP, as well as export revenue to 56%, to 56 billion. JAKIM is considered our local key certification body, and they recognize 46 other countries. I would also like to touch on lifestyle, because that's kind of the key thing now, especially with millennials, when you talk about clothing, cosmetics, everything and anything that's got to do with halal. So there are a lot of opportunities in terms of how we want to digitalize. So we're looking at, ideas, we're looking at opportunities for fintech companies to also help in the digitalization of Malaysia's Islamic digital economy. We have had really good industry champions. There are accelerators that are running, there are incentives, there are grants given locally by the government in support of the digitalization of these sectors. So if you can just quickly just look to the right, I like to think that in terms of Malaysia's value proposition, no other country in the world has got the same IDE, Islamic digital economy ecosystem as thriving as Malaysia. And that is the distinction that we have, with Singapore and other countries that's currently within the digital space. Okay, so this is just a quick snapshot view of Malaysia's Islamic fintech ecosystem, and we welcome foreign companies to be part of this. So as at end April, I mentioned earlier we're number 1, so we have to date 48 companies as of April 2022, and their offerings process across these various sectors. So for us, we believe demand drives supply. So one of the key important milestones that Malaysia is currently undergoing is the announcement of our digital bank licenses, where 2 were given to Islamic banks. So we are at the cusp of revolutionary change for our financial sector. We're looking to explore how we can further expand the breadth and depth of our financial solutions in support of championing the Islamic digital economy agenda, as well as becoming the heart of ASEAN, making Malaysia the heart of digital ASEAN. I won't take the thunder away from my other colleagues or the heads who will be also speaking in their respective areas. So if I could quickly pass to, we've got Faiz on the call, do we?
Yes, hi Lina.
Yes, excellent. So let me just stop here, and then Faiz will take us through on the digital sector.
All right, thank you, Lina. Hang on, yeah. Let me just share my screen. All right. So, hi, good afternoon, or probably good morning, everyone there in Dubai. So, I'm Faiz. So, I'll be talking about Malaysia Tech Entrepreneur Program. In short, we call it MTEP. So, MTEP is a pass given to foreign founders and co-founders to start their business here in Malaysia. So, if you have a company, if you are a startup, and you are part of the founders or co-founders, you are eligible to apply for MTEP. So basically, this is for you to kickstart your business here in Malaysia. Yeah. So what is MTEP? So there's 2 categories for MTEP. One is new entrepreneur, and the other is established entrepreneur. So for new entrepreneurs, this is given to founders or co-founders who has an idea, but they have no track record of establishing a business before. So you have an idea, but you've never worked before, you don't have any experience of running a company before, you are eligible to apply for new entrepreneur, which can get you 1 year pass, renewable for another 1 year. So we call it professional visit pass. So then the next category is established entrepreneur. So this pass duration is up to 5 years and renewable for another 5 years. This is for founders and co-founders of a tech startup with a track record of establishing a company before. So you have established a company for 3 years, and as a proof, you can show to us your latest 2 years audited report. You are eligible to apply for residence pass, which can get you 5 years visa. And there's another category for founders or co-founders of Malaysian venture partner. You must have a minimum funds of 10 million ringgit, and you must be registered with our Securities Commission Malaysia as Venture Capital Management Corporations. These 2 will be eligible to get the 5 years pass. Okay. So here are some of the MTEP technology or sector focus area. We are focusing mainly on 4th IR, BDA, IoT, blockchain, Fintech, robotic or drone tech, and also on AR, VR, creative technology. But if you see at the bottom here, these are the non-qualifying activities, which consists of trading, online marketplace, manufacturing, consultancy, software integration. So if you are applying for the bottom activities, it is most likely that your application will be rejected. Okay. All right. So here are the requirements for MTEP. So for both new entrepreneur and established entrepreneur, you are required to submit a business pitch deck. Now, this business pitch deck must consist of your proposed business idea that you want to bring here into Malaysia, the market opportunities in Malaysia and also in ASEAN, and your plans in securing funding here. And for new entrepreneur, you need to, for both new entrepreneur and established entrepreneur, you need to show a proof of 50,000 ringgit for 3 consecutive months in your personal bank accounts. This is to show that you can sustain your life here in Malaysia. Okay, and this is required by our immigration department in Malaysia. So for established entrepreneur, you need to additional financial track record that you need to provide is the 2 years audited report to show that you have run a business before. Okay. Now for local sponsor, for new entrepreneur, you need to reside in one of our Malaysia digital hubs. So you need to get a letter of offer or tenancy agreement for Malaysia digital hub. Digital hubs is similar to co-working spaces. Okay. And a personal bond signed by the Malaysia digital hubs. All right. So for established entrepreneur, don't need a sponsor, but you need a declaration form signed by a Malaysian individual aged 21 years old and above. Now, for both categories, new entrepreneur and established entrepreneur, you need to provide certificate of good conduct, which is a document issued by the embassy or your enforcement agency that states of no criminal record of an applicant in their residing country. Right? Here are some of the selected MTEP companies by sector. We do have some from agri-tech, fintech, PDA, AI, blockchain, IoT. These are some of the MTEP recipients that have started their business here in Malaysia. Some of our progress as of 2021, this program started back in 2017. As of 2021, we have received a total application of 381, and we have approved 220 applicants as of 2021. The top 6 nationalities are India, America, British, Australia, German, and Indonesia. So on your right side, you can see some of the highlights of our MTEP recipients and the companies that they have started here in Malaysia. Okay, and that's all. Thank you. Probably next presenter.
Yes, thank you, Faiz. I'll move on to Alia to present.
Thank you, Lina. Just let me share my screen. Okay, so I believe the screen is showing correctly my slide, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, my name is Alia. I'm with the Digital Investment Division in MDEC, and today my main task is to introduce Malaysia Digital to every one of you here, and get if possible, get you guys to apply for this Malaysia Digital status. So I'll keep it very short and sweet. First of all, Malaysia Digital is actually a national strategic initiative just launched by MDEC, by the government, last July, to encourage and attract companies, talent, and investment, while ensuring Malaysian businesses and the people play a leading part in the digital revolution or digital economy. So MDEC has been established since 1996, building on the success of 25 years ago, where we accelerated the growth of the digital economy in Malaysia. We have attracted, for the past 25 years, we have attracted about 3,000 companies, MSC status back then, when it was known, creating more than 184,000 jobs and contributing about 22.6% to Malaysia's GDP. So now, as we move on with time, so we launched the Malaysia Digital to ensure that Malaysia remains attractive for tech companies, for Malaysia, for multinational companies to set up shop in Malaysia. Okay, so with the launch of Malaysia Digital back in July, recent launch, what we want to do as an organization, MDEC, is our vision is we want Malaysia to be the preferred hub for world-class digital businesses and talents. And we want to drive the digital economy by through catalytic high-impact initiatives, attracting strategic and sustainable investment, and ensuring that we have inclusive policies to support the growth of digital economy. When it comes to the mission of Malaysia Digital, we have a three-pronged approach here. The first one is, as you can see at the top of my slide there, is to drive digital adoption among the businesses, the entrepreneurs, and the people. So we have a lot of capability and capacity building program, a digital funding, community engagement to ensure that businesses, both businesses and the people operating in Malaysia are digitalized and digitally transformed, and ensure the digital economy is accelerated through this Malaysia Digital program. The second prong of the Malaysia Digital is actually to support local tech companies to become Malaysian champions, successful international players. Through our, we have network in about 12 ecosystems, 12 markets internationally, including in Dubai. Here is, we do a lot of, what do you call that? Grooming Malaysian champions, a lot of market access programs, and as well, of course, funding to help companies, tech companies domiciled in Malaysia to be successful international players. And the third prong of the Malaysia Digital, this is where I'm coming from, is about attracting high value investment. And how we do this is through offering both fiscal and non-fiscal incentives, as well as investment facilitation to ensure Malaysia is attractive to tech companies such as yourself. Yeah. So after 25 years, we have our learning. We started with offering the MSC status, MSC incentives. Now we have refreshed MSC incentives. We call it the Malaysia Digital Incentive. And this Malaysia Digital program, I would say, our commitment is it is more friendlier now. It's easier, it's friendlier for companies to be part of the Malaysia Digital ecosystem. We have lower entry threshold, and then it's more flexible now. You can be anywhere in Malaysia. You can operate anywhere in Malaysia for you to grow, expand, and invest. You don't have to be in certain location, in certain cyber city or cyber center anymore to enjoy the Malaysia Digital status. And then the lastly is faster, because we have improved our governance, we have improved our processes. So now it's easier, it's faster to get the Malaysia Digital status. What we want for the focus areas for Malaysia Digitals, as you can see on the screen, we want to focus on these 9 key sectors. We want companies who are providing or who are innovating in these sectors: digital trade, digital services, cities, finance, tourism, agriculture, health and content, and of course, the Islamic digital economy that cut across all these sectors. We want companies in these sectors to come and apply for Malaysia Digital status. And these companies, the companies that we want to attract also companies that are using or that are building solutions in the tech enablers. If you look at the right-hand side of the slide, you can see companies in the cloud and data center, cybersecurity companies, drone tech, blockchain, IoT, robotics, automation, AI, BDA, creative content. These are the kinds of companies that we want to attract, and we want the companies to land in Malaysia and expand to ASEAN from Malaysia. Yeah, and how we are helping these companies is, you can apply for Malaysia Digital MD status, which is replacing the 25 years old MSc status now. So it's more, we have flexible offerings. I will show you later what are the benefits for MD status companies. And then most importantly, you can be based anywhere in Malaysia to enjoy the benefits of the MD status. And how to apply for the MD status is very easy. The eligibility criteria is so much lower now. All you need to be is, you have to be locally incorporated in Malaysia. You have a paid up capital of 1,000 ringgit. That's about $250 USD. You have to have a minimum 2 employees with average base salary of 5,000 ringgit. With operating expenditure of 50,000 ringgit, and you need to and you have 12 months to actually meet this criteria. So at the point of you can start with a lower number at the point of applying for the MD status, and you have 12 months to meet this condition here. And how to apply is very easy. All is online. You can if you can scan the QR code. It will bring you to the Malaysia Digital page on MDEC website, and you can apply for your MD status there. So with this MD status, what it gives you is access to 10 bill of guarantees and additional benefits, as you can see on the screen here. Bill of guarantees is basically a set of guarantees by the government for tech companies or for MD status companies to enjoy. So for example, you can look there, the BOG, Bill of Guarantee, as an MD status company, you will have access to competitive and ready infrastructure for businesses at designated location. If you choose to be in any designated location, you will have access to apply for foreign knowledge worker quota and passes. You can be, and the third one is, you can be 100% foreign owned. You don't have to be, you don't have to have a local ownership to operate here in Malaysia. You can also source your capital and funds globally from anywhere in the world. There's no restriction. And then the fifth one, you can also apply for tax incentives in the form of income tax exemption or investment tax allowance. And the rest of the, you can see also on the screen, the rest of the benefits there. So all of these BOGs or benefits will be accessible to you once you get your MD status. And then MD status will open the door to these benefits. And then if you can pick and choose whichever benefits that fit into the requirement of your business. And then, of course, each of the benefits here will be subjected to applicable terms and conditions. Okay, so previously, compared to when it was MSc status, the threshold is higher. It's so much higher than what you see on the screen here, and it will and the MSc status would have given you access to all of this. But we recognize that companies, not all companies would require all of these benefits. So now with MD status, we revamped, you can pick and choose the benefits or the facilitation or the incentives that meet your requirement to operate here in Malaysia. Okay, so this is my last slide, a little bit of a promotion here. Malaysia, Penang State is hosting the World Congress on Innovation Technology from 13 to 15 September. It's a very huge event that will, which will happen in 3 weeks' time. Please join us here in Penang. If you are a Malaysian company, this is also HRDF claimable. And hope to see you guys there. Thank you. That's the last of my slide.
Thank you so much, Alia, for the interesting, exciting news on MD, and we hope to incentivize more foreign companies to be part of our growth story. Last but not least is our Arifah, who will speak on digital nomad.
Hello, Assalamualaikum, everyone. My name is Arifah. I am representing MDEC and I will talk about our new Malaysia Digital Nomad Program. So let me just share my screen now. Okay, so we have a new program called DRantau. So D stands for digital economy and Rantau is the Malay word for travel. And of course, another word for nomad, right? So next slide. So we are looking at the global digital nomad population as the target market for this program. I'm sure Dubai would be very familiar with this because you already have a digital nomad program in Dubai. So we are basically targeting the same target pool of digital nomads for them to be able to work in our respective countries and making it more easy for them to move about globally, because we know that they work from all over the world. And of course, Southeast Asia has been always voted to be the most popular region. So if you can see in here, there's only Thailand, Vietnam, and Indonesia. So we would love to have for Malaysia to be mentioned in the top 10 as well. So this is where MDEC comes in. So we are putting together a program which is DRantau. We want Malaysia to be the preferred digital nomad hub in ASEAN. We want to help promote the mobility of digital professionals and of course, ultimately accelerating adoption of digital and also the revival of the economic activities here in Malaysia. So our approach in Malaysia is we do two key things. So one is coming up with digital nomad hubs, which are basically accommodations which we will certify as nomad fit accommodations, meaning it's not just a place for you to sleep and rest, but it is also for a place that you will be able to work and meet people, meet other nomads, etc. And then, of course, putting together a comprehensive local digital ecosystem, meaning providing services from the various digital platforms which are available in Malaysia. So we're looking at areas of, travel, mobility. We're looking at retail and F&B, tourism-related services, etc., even including cashless and e-wallet facility. So that's that. And also there will be a new digital nomad pass, which we will announce next month during WCIT 2022 in Penang. So we will announce this availability of this digital nomad pass, which will help ease the access for digital nomads to come to Malaysia, because we know that most of the time nomads, when they travel to countries and live and stay there, usually they are using tourist pass, or if not potentially like something similar to MTEC pass. But now this is digital nomad pass, which the criteria is should be easier for digital professionals to meet. So the pilot locations of DRantau hubs in Malaysia, we're looking at activating Langkawi, Penang, and KL this year. And the rest of the cities are shown in the slide sometime next year. So the choosing of the cities, basically because these are the ones frequented by global digital nomads as per nomadlist.com. So this is how we are rolling out the program in Malaysia. And so who can join the DRantau program? So we're looking at both foreign and Malaysian nomads. We're looking at both digital freelancers as well as remote workers and domain or profession anything relating to IT as well as digital. And upon application, you need to provide an active project contract or employment contract. It has to be above 3 months, and it can be multiple contract. And then for digital freelancers, your clienteles can be both Malaysian and foreign companies. But then, however, for remote workers, for foreign remote workers, your employer needs to be non-Malaysian based companies. Annual income that we're looking at is $24,000 a year for foreign nomads. And then you would be eligible for this new digital nomad pass, which is called the professional visit pass. It allows you to stay in Malaysia for up to 1 year, renewable for another year. You can also bring your spouse and children. And the fee is about 1,000 ringgit, which is about $250 for the main pass holder, and then 500 ringgit for your dependents. And that's it. So if you have any, do so, ask in the Q&A or chat box, and I'll try my best to address them. And in the meantime, please have a look at our website. If you have any question, you can email us at d.rantau@mdec.com.my. And thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you so much, Arifah. So that's the lineup from MDEC. So over to DIFC.
Hi everyone, my name is Samia. I'm from Fintech Hive. I would like to invite Yahya to start his presentation and take us through a quick overview about DIFC and setting up a business in DIFC.
Yahya, you're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Great. Good morning, everyone. Hi, this is Yahya from the DIFC. Just give me a second and I'll share my screen. Just let me know when you can see it. I think you should be able to see it now.
Yep, can see.
Great. So welcome everyone. My name is Yahya. I'm part of the team that looks after fintech and innovation here in the DIFC. I'm part of the DIFC authority, which is one of the independent bodies that is responsible for running the DIFC here. I'll be giving you just a quick presentation, a quick overview of who we are, what we do, sort of how our innovation and fintech and innovation journey started. And then I'll be telling you a bit more about our ecosystem and how you can join our ecosystem and the process for that. So I'll probably just give you a quick introduction to the DIFC, how we started, where we are right now, and so on. So we are a financial free zone. We're about 140 acres piece of land that is completely exempt from mainland commercial laws. And we are unique in the way we're established. So we were established in 2004 for the sole purpose of diversifying the economy of Dubai and contributing to the economic growth and GDP growth for the Emirate of Dubai. Some of the things and some of the numbers that are very important. As I mentioned, I am from the DIFC authority, which is one of the bodies that is responsible for the strategic management of the center and the property and the real estate part of the DIFC as well. And most importantly, we are also the licensing authority. So we are the entity responsible for issuing the licenses for those that are looking to do business in and from the DIFC. The other independent body here in the DIFC is the Dubai Financial Services Authority, or in short, the DFSA, and they are the independent financial regulator here in the DIFC. As I mentioned, we are a unique establishment, we are a unique jurisdiction. So we do, one of the things that is unique about us is that we have our own independent financial regulator. Now, they act just like a central bank, except they do not print money and they are not a lender of last resort. And they're responsible for regulating all financial services that happen in the DIFC or from the DIFC. Now, as I mentioned, we are also a common law jurisdiction. And as part of that, we also have the DIFC courts, where we actually have our own independent judiciary system. So together, these three bodies run the DIFC and are responsible for specific things in the DIFC from a day-to-day perspective, from the regulations and from the independent judiciary system here. We're quite a growing ecosystem from a fintech innovation perspective, but from a traditional perspective, we are probably one of the leading ecosystems globally here. We have the deepest financial services ecosystem anywhere between sort of Hong Kong, Singapore, and London. And we have about 31,000 people working here in the DIFC. Now, what is the DIFC? What are sort of the benefits of setting up in the DIFC? Well, number one, as I mentioned, we are a common law jurisdiction. We have our own independent judiciary system, but we're also an independent jurisdiction with its own laws and regulations. So we have our own IP law, we have our own data protection law, we have our own companies law, we have our own employment law, we have our own operating law, which allows companies to be able to do business in an international standard jurisdiction as well. We have no currency restriction here in the DIFC. We're actually a dollar-dominated jurisdiction, and we have no restriction on capital repatriation either. Now, who is in the DIFC and what are the type of companies that we look to attract in the DIFC? Well, there are certain sectors that we work with. One of them being sort of, let's say, if we look at the financial services sector, we have those that work under the banks and capital markets, the wealth and asset management, and of course, the insurance and the reinsurance sector. Now, from the non-financial services, what we call them are your corporate service providers, which are those such as your law firms, your compliance firms, your consulting firms as well, in addition to those that are your multinational companies that set up regional headquarters here in the DIFC, as well as family businesses that establish their family offices here in the DIFC. Now, the recent sector that has been a strong focus for us has been the fintech and innovation ecosystem here, and I'll get into how we started within the next slide. Now, when you look at DIFC, you also have to look at Dubai. You have to look at sort of what makes the DIFC so unique, as well as being based in Dubai as well. So Dubai has been ranked as one of the top places to live in, has been also a great pull when it comes to talent as well. And of course, one of the things that is very important is to look at the visa program that is quickly and enhancing every day with the different programs that are offered to different tech talent here, specifically with the Golden Visa program. Now, the location of Dubai is also very important, but that is also a reason for why the DIFC was created. So the DIFC was created to fill the time zone gap between the East and the West. But you also have to look at things like access to the remainder of the region with Emirates, for example. So with the Emirates gives you access to about 2 billion to 3 billion of the world's population. Is about a 5-hour, 4-hour flight away. So it's things like that that sort of help establish DIFC as a jurisdiction of choice. Now, when we look at sort of our fintech innovation ecosystem, we have to look at sort of how we started and when we started. So we started our journey in 2017 with the establishment of the DIFC Fintech Hive, which is today the leading fintech accelerator program in the region. And we also established a $100 million fintech fund back in 2017, and we also changed how business is done for startups. So sort of these are the three things that we started with to begin our fintech journey or to begin our ecosystem. Now, this has evolved. It has evolved from a licensing perspective. It has evolved from a funding perspective as well. Today, the Fintech Accelerator Program is the leading accelerator program in the region. The Fintech Fund, the $100 million Fintech Fund, has evolved to a Dubai level 1 billion dirham fund, a specific fund that is focused on digitizing the economy of Dubai and digitizing the Emirate of Dubai as well. The innovation license, which started back in 2017, was specifically just targeting fintech companies. Today, we are a sector agnostic hub that is looking at not just fintech, but everything around fintech, as well as outside of that. So we have become also a hub for insurtech, for agri-tech, for market tech, for legal tech, basically completely sector agnostic. We have created specific visa regimes to attract startups and entrepreneurs to set up in the DIFC as well. We have created co-working spaces to establish in the DIFC here. And we have also created real estate offerings for startup offices. And basically what we're trying to do is to cater to the full journey for startups from an idea stage all the way to seed, to scale up, all the way to corporate. And We have other initiatives that we're working on as well at the moment, such as the DIFC Venture Studio Launchpad, where we are planning on being a venture studio of venture studios, where we plan to sort of create a platform where venture studios can be housed and created, and these venture studios will create companies, and these companies will create jobs. Again, everything that we do is linked back to our agenda, which is contributing to the economic growth of Dubai. So this is sort of from a licensing perspective. Now, from a regulation perspective, we do have regulations for those that are conducting financial services, for those in the money services regime. So anyone in the digital payment space, the wallet space, the remittance space, the DFSA has established regulations for that. We're also on track to releasing our crypto regulations by Q4 this year. So towards the end of October, early November, we should have regulations in place for crypto tokens. We have already established a regime for digital security tokens, which are asset-backed tokens. So the next in place would be sort of the crypto tokens. We are also home to probably the leading ecosystem here in the region, and probably the largest fintech and innovation ecosystem in the region. As part of that, we created what we call the DIFC Innovation Hub, which is actually our physical ecosystem where everything and everyone that is to do with fintech innovation sits. It is where the accelerator program sits. It is where the funding, where the funds sit, where the VC sit, where the community sits as well. It is a space today that we are looking to expand, and because of the high demand that we have received for technology companies and the growth that we have seen from technology companies, and we're now in process of building a dedicated building that will be looking to cater just to fintech and innovation companies. These are just some of the names that are here, some of the big names internationally, regionally, and locally as well, some of them that have raised 100 million and all the way down to 1 million. We have become a home for international players, those that are looking to tap into the region, those are looking to set up regional headquarters here. We have become a home for regional players. And also we have become a home where entrepreneurs and innovators come to establish their ideas from the DIFC and grow from the DIFC. There's a couple of reasons for that. I think one of the main reasons is the ecosystem that we have, the sector agnostic ecosystem here, the community element that we have here. I think the Innovation Hub plays a huge role in that. It's sort of its space where we bring everyone together, as well as being a huge pull factor for talent. And from our side, from a visa perspective, we have made things a lot easier for those that are in the technology and startup ecosystem. Now, we're also a very active ecosystem. We do a lot to bring the community together. There are certain thematic weeks, or let's say thematic events that we focus on. So we started this journey last year of activating the ecosystem. Some of the themes that we focused on last year were blockchain, innovation, and future talent. This year, we looked at things such as AI, IoT, and robotics. We looked at fintech, and we're also going to be looking at things such as sustainability, open finance, as well as women in tech, which are sort of things that are very important and things that are very active currently in the region here. And we created a specific event area, which is free to use for our community, for them to host product showcases, panel discussions, and so on. And of course, we support from a marketing and IT and logistics perspective. Now, all of this is sort of what the ecosystem offers, what the community is, but sort of what we do to set up, or how we help entrepreneurs set up here, is we actually created something called the DIFC Innovation License. Now, one thing to note is that the DIFC has always been sort of a very financial services focused, traditional finance focused, and this is something that we have been changing over the last couple of years, starting in 2017. So we wanted to, because we understand where financial services is heading. We sort of see the trend that financial services is heading, and we sort of understand that the lines between technology and financial services are quickly diminishing. So one of the things we created is the DIFC Innovation License. Now, the DIFC Innovation License is a highly subsidized license that we offer to technology startups. We subsidize the cost from $20,000 down to $1,500. We created a subsidized real estate offering where a startup can start by getting a flexi desk in a co-working space, which is $500 a month, and they can grow from there to offices for 1 person, 2 people, 10 people, 15 people, all the way to 50 people. And we have also discounted the visa costs for startups here. and increase the visa quota for our technology companies here. So for example, if you have a company here in the DIFC, previously you could only get 1 visa per your desk, but now we've allowed that quota to increase up to 4 visas per desk as well. Now, from a process perspective, everything is done online. It's a fully digital onboarding process where you have to basically tell us who you are, what you're going to be doing from the DIFC, how are you being funded, and that's pretty much it, and then submitting some documents. Now, there is no capital requirements from a funding perspective, but we need to understand from an AML and compliance perspective how you are funding your entity. Once we receive all of this information, myself and my team, we will be helping you throughout the process, and then we would go ahead and submit it to a committee that reviews. They take about 5 to 7 working days to review it, and once they're happy with everything, they would give you what we call an in-principle approval. And once you have your in-principle, that basically means you can now go ahead and actually establish the legal entity in the DIFC. Again, fully online, fully digital, where you have to pay your fees, allocate your shares, submit your documents, and that's it. And from a template perspective, we have all the templates that you would need. So we have standard templates for articles of association. We've got templates for board resolutions that you can use. We've got templates for employment contracts, for employment offers that can go out. So we have set up all standard templates that our startup community can use as well. From a time frame perspective, it takes about, give or take, 2 to 3 weeks to get established from start to finish. The time that we need is the 5 to 7 working days where your application is under review with our committee. Other than that, it's a matter of just completing some questions online, telling us who you are and what you do and how you're being funded. And I think that's it from my side. If you have any questions, my details are there. Please feel free to reach out to me with any questions. Happy to have a one-on-one conversation with you to understand more about your plans and what you're looking to do from the DIFC here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yahya. I guess I'll talk a little bit more about our Fintech accelerator programs and the scale-up programs and the programs that we run at the DIFC Fintech Hive. So I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, just to quickly introduce myself, my name is Fatma Al-Harmoudi and I'm part of the team here at the DIFC Fintech Hive. My role is to manage the accelerator programs and any corporate innovation opportunities that we have here at the Hive. I'm going to talk about 2 of our core programs. Firstly, the Fintech Accelerator program and also the Scale Up program. So I'm sure many of you know how accelerators work. Basically, we give startups access to mentorship, help them grow as a business. Our Fintech Accelerator actually targets mainly growth stage fintechs. So those that are looking for business and co-creation opportunities with leading financial industries. Through our program, these fintechs are able to tap into the Middle East market and are able to then scale their solutions. Our programs are run for fintech startups, so startups that are in financial technology in general, and these can be insurtechs, they can be Islamic fintechs, regtechs, or just anyone under the umbrella of just general fintechs. As I mentioned, for this program, we work with leading financial industry partners, and the objective of the program is to connect our financial industry partners with the world's most up-and-coming fintechs. We make sure that the suitability of our startups technologies fit our partners' strategic priorities for the year. And then following the cohort gets to pitch to these financial institutions during the program. Through our program, our partners get access to recognition, being as part of a fintech ecosystem. They get to accelerate their business growth through corporate innovation. They get to really transform the company culture through a more of a collaborative mindset. They would also get access and exposure to a global fintech network and direct collaboration with startups to facilitate adoptions that are aligned with their industry's needs, with their institutional needs. We've seen great results over the years at our FinTech Accelerator program. You'll see that in 2017, we received over 100 applications, and we accepted a smaller cohort of 12 startup finalists. Then the next year, we actually tripled in growth, where we received over 300 applications, and we selected a cohort of 22. And then last year, we received over 770 applications, and we had 2 cohorts that year, same as this year. So we got to accept and select 44 startups out of a pool of 770. We run our program in 2 sprints. One of which we actually completed last month with a cohort of 21 startups, and we're gearing up to kick off the next sprint in September. The program will conclude this year with the demo day in November. We're actually still accepting applications for this program and our programs in general. So if you're a fintech that's interested in taking part in the FinTech Accelerator, I would recommend that you go and apply through our website. And we also have applications open for our scale-up program as well. So to take you through a little bit about our scale-up program, the scale-up program is a platform that is targeted to more mature startups, as in those that are raising Series A and beyond. Through the program, these startups get the chance to pitch to MENA's leading venture capital firms, family offices, corporate and government funds, private equity firms, and investment banks. This year, we are hosting the Scale Up Pitch Day on September 27, where there will be a judging panel consisting of our funding partners. And this will actually be an open event where you can register to join and just watch as an attendee through the events page on our website. And I'll add a few links in the chat box right after the presentation if you're interested to go and register for the event. So like I said, through this program, we connect startups with the region's leading investors, and these are usually our funding partners that make up part of our ecosystem partners. That brings me to the end of my presentation. I'll leave the floor to Samia to talk a little bit more about Accelerator, our career mentorship program.
Hi, everyone. My name is Samia. Let me just start sharing my screen. Give me a second. Can everyone see my screen? I hope so.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yes, we can. Perfect. Okay, hi everyone. My name is Samia. I'm the marketing lead here at Fintech Hive. One of the things that I do is run the Accelerator program. So before I start, I just want to give you all like a little bit of background about Fintech Hive. We are an all women's team, and we take women empowerment really seriously. One of our programs that we run is called Accelerator, which essentially helps young professional women to accelerate their careers. So Accelerator is a female-focused career mentorship accelerator. It aims to equip young aspiring female executives with the necessary tools and experience to broaden their knowledge and reach in the industry and play a more active role in the future of the financial landscape. What we offer is one-on-one mentorship sessions with the leading executives within the finance and tech industries. They're exposed to a diverse range of experience, and it helps them build their network, skills, and knowledge through gaining access to activities such as workshops, access to the co-working space, invitations to our community workshops, etc. So it's really a very interesting and important step in their career plan if they would like to accelerate their growth professionally. In terms of how the program has fared so far, we've received about 450 applications. We've selected 80 finalists who have actually joined our program so far. They have been paired with 180 plus mentorship pairings and have attended more than 100 workshops that are dedicated to Accelerator and shadow sessions. How the Accelerator timeline goes. So we kind of run our Accelerator program in parallel to our FinTech Accelerator and Scale-Up programs. So like Fatma mentioned, we just wrapped up our first cohort for the year. So that happened in July. Now we're accepting applications for our upcoming cohort, which is in September. the timeline goes from mid-September to mid-October. And then we're going to have a graduation day in November during Investor Day. Here is like a quick overview of some of our leading industry experts and program mentors from 2021. We had some of the leading names in the local UAE industry who joined the program and actually dedicated a lot of their precious time to mentor these young aspiring female executives with one-on-one sessions. And honestly, that is pretty much it from my side. I just wanted to give you all a quick overview. Now I want to open the floor to Q&A. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out. So we have one question. Can a startup submit more than one application for the accelerator program? Fatima, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. So if you mean, would you be applying to the same program? Then we would take your latest application, but you can apply to more than one program in general. I hope that answers your question.
We have another question. Okay, not a question. Just want to comment that the presentations were very interesting. We're already working with both DIFC and MDEC and look forward to contributing to all these new initiatives in the future. Thanks to all the speakers. Thank you, Daniel. Anybody else? Any questions? Okay, so we have one more question. Can you all speak more to any other programs such as the new Metaverse Accelerator program? Fatima, this one?
Sure. So the Metaverse program is a program that is run primarily by Emirates MBD in collaboration with the Fintech Hive. So if you're a startup that's within this realm, I'm going to leave a link in the chat box to apply. We're just about to close the applications very soon. So I believe that today or tomorrow is the last day, Sami, correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm going to leave a link for that in the chat box.
Tomorrow is the last day for applications, yes. Okay, next question. Do we have a recording for this? Yes, we are recording the session and it will be posted on our YouTube handle in the next couple of days. So you can follow us on the DIFC Fintech Hive on YouTube, and I'm sure you'll be able to find this there. Waiting for more questions.
For everybody listening in, don't worry, there will be more follow-up webinars, workshops that we plan together with Fintech Hive in support of stronger collaboration and relationships. So if you have any specific requests in terms of what more do you need or information that you would like to have from MDEC, please put it in the chat box. And we will follow up with another session which could deep dive into the specific areas that you want to touch on. Happy to be of service.
Sounds good. I don't think we're getting any other questions at the moment. Oh, yes, we have one more. How can I get the regulatory framework for security-backed digital token? That's a good question. I think, Yahya, if you're still on the call, maybe you could address this one.
Yahya is not on the call, but I think that the right person for Sulaiman to reach out to is the DFSA that can help with support, help and support with any of the regulatory frameworks.
Thank you. Yeah, so Sulaiman, I think DFSA is your best bet here. Any other questions? Okay, we have one more question. Thank you so much for the presentation. It was great. Is there any chance to join a team in DIFC? Well, Well, I'm sure there is a lot of chances for you to join DIFC, but I think the right person would be our HR team. So maybe you could just, reach out to our HR team through the website, and they should be able to help you out with that one. Any other questions?
Yeah, so I mean, if there is somewhere, would there be like a link for anyone on this call to contact me or any of my colleagues on this call, should they have any further questions?
So there is no link as of right now, but what I can do is I can update our website page to have your email addresses mentioned. Yeah. So I think anybody looking to reach out to MDEC can just go back to our website page in some time and have the MDEC address over there for you to directly reach out.
You can also drop your emails here in the chat box, just for anyone. Yeah, anyone interested.
Okay, Ken, sure, I'll do that now. So feel free to reach out to me if you have follow-up questions that you would like to ask. Yeah, and I can also be the key liaison in support of connecting you to Faiz, Alia, or Arifa. No problem. Okay. All right.
I think that's it. We're not getting any other questions as of right now. So I'm going to wrap up the session. Thank you everyone for attending, and I hope you had an informative session. Thank you, Ruslina. Thank you, MDEC team, for taking time out and sharing your insights and knowledge with us. And that is it from our side. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Look forward to seeing everybody again. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for having us.